Howdy folks, I'm welcoming Woodstove, wonderfully warming wet wanderers.
I'm Amber.
And here are more wet wanderers for us to warm up and help dry out. And folks, there's a live stream coming up today, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, so we hope to see you then. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not letting my sister wear my dead grandmother's diamond earrings for her wedding? Hey Reddit, throwaway account because my sister is also on Reddit and following my actual account. When I was 16, my grandmother passed away. My older sister was 26 at the time. It's been 4 years since then. My grandparents had moved right next door to my house 10 years prior to her death, so I was 6. I had a really close relationship with my grandmother since I really grew up with her. My sister, however, wasn't as close. She was always busy and never hung out with her like I did. She moved out when she was about 18 and hardly visited. I would hang out at my grandma's every weekend. She would take me shopping and we had multiple traditions, just the two of us. Before she passed, I was randomly over there one day when she told me that she had something for me. She pulled out a pair of earrings and gave them to me. I didn't think much of it because she always gives me little trinkets or jewelry and I hadn't really gotten a good look at them. Later that day, I was telling my mom about it and showing her the earrings. You can bet that I was very surprised when she was freaking out saying that they were her diamond earrings. My mom explained that she had those since my mom was a kid and wore them every day. She was a little shocked that she would give them to me, considering that I have around 40 cousins and some of them also have children. A very, very big family. Again, though, I'm very close to her and none of my cousins ever lived near her, so they don't really see her as much. She said that they're worth a lot of money. I definitely wouldn't sell them because they mean a lot to me. A week later, she unfortunately passed, and I was happy to have something to remember her by. Fast forward to now, and my older sister is getting married in May. She came to me and asked me about the earrings and if she could wear them. I said no. The thing is that she loses literally everything of mine. Ever since we were little, she would always take my things and end up losing or ruining my items. She lost countless earrings and jewelry, and she doesn't take care of them at all. I really don't want to risk her losing them, and I would feel like she would. She got very upset and called me all sorts of names, yelling that my grandma would want her to wear them. I said if she really wanted you to have them, she would have given them to you. She stormed off, and we haven't spoken in a few days. Her fiance has reached out to me, getting mad as well, saying it was unfair of me. My parents are also defending her, and I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong. I mean, it's just earrings. Does she really have to wear them? They're my earrings, and they were given to me. So am I the jerk for this? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. They're your earrings, and, you're not obligated to share them no matter what. But the fact that she loses everything, it's pretty much guaranteed that if you hand it over, you're never going to see them again.
The crux is that OP and their sister have a relationship dynamic, and OP is aware of how she loses OP's things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would also question, like, if she's always losing stuff of OP's, is she really losing it, or is it just disappearing, right?
Well, and with earrings that expensive, there's always the, is she going to sell them?
Yeah. Well, she might sell them, or she might just take them for herself and say she lost them, and there wouldn't be really anything OP could do about it at that point in time, right? So I think that OP is being very wise here. The sister, she could return them, but she might not return them, and I wouldn't take my chances if I were OP.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Recreational Gluttony says, your sister will quote-unquote lose them. I would put them away in a safety deposit box or somewhere your family doesn't know about. Otherwise, you'll lose them too. And Vegas, by way of LA, says, I agree. And if OP caves and lends them out, they would require a deposit of more than the value of the earrings. Sister shouldn't have a problem with that unless she has no intention of returning them. And Recreational Gluttony says, no, because they'll just switch to projecting about the monetary value of the earrings. Just stick to the sentimental value and point out that she'll lose them on accident. Really though, the family sounds pretty terrible. And Switchwide 9406 says, 100% OP, don't let anyone in your family know where they are, or they might decide to get them for your sister. They need to be locked up somewhere safe where no one can get them but you. Also, not the jerk, and the entitlement is ridiculous. Personally, I would have just told her and everyone harassing you that she'll just lose them because she has lost every other possession of yours, and you would like these to stay in the family. Since she can't be trusted, you have to keep them safe. Then, when anyone says something about them, ask them why they want grandma's earrings lost forever, since that's what will happen. And Be Happy in This Moment says, I would find the closest cubic zirconia replica that I could find and lend her those. What do you think of that idea?
I mean, I actually think that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, if OP could find a pair of earrings that look pretty close to those, or nearly
even
identical.
Yeah, or even moissanite. And because the only way that's going to blow up, most people can't tell the difference between moissanite and diamonds. So unless she took it to like a jeweler or pawn shop to try and sell it, she won't probably know the difference.
Yeah, unless she knew them well enough that she could identify them. But it seems pretty unlikely that that would be the case, since, I mean, it doesn't sound like she was wearing them all that much at the end of her life because OP didn't recognize them. But yeah.
Like, I honestly couldn't tell you what earrings anyone else has worn. You could show me and be like, these are your grandma's earrings, and I would believe you. I don't even know if my grandma has her ears pierced.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Boyfriend, 25-year-old male, is asking me, a 23-year-old female, to take out a personal loan for his car, but I don't want to. Hi, as the title says, my boyfriend is asking me to take out a loan for a car that he's already bought. Basically, he had to pay a partial amount of money to get the car up front, and then he was relying on the bank to approve his loan to pay out the rest, which is around 10,000 euros. The car dealership let him take the car home, trusting that he would make the rest of the payment. However, his loan application got denied, and now he's expecting me to take out a loan instead. We've been together for 7 years, so I do trust him, but loans have always been a bit scary to me, and we didn't discuss this prior to him buying the car. We have previously discussed our finances, and I have mentioned numerous times that I don't want to take out loans yet, that I want to save my money, and then eventually in a few years, it would be ideal to take out a loan for a home. Because of this decision, he is now mad at me. How would you approach the situation? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think this is an unreasonable ask of him. I think it is fair to just tell him that you're not comfortable with this and just shut him down.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where OP has already made this very clear that they don't want to take out a loan. I understand that OP does trust him, and it sounds like, a 7-year relationship, he's probably not going anywhere, right? They're probably, hopefully not breaking up anytime soon. But, again, like, OP didn't have a say in this, and it wouldn't be fair to OP to have to take out this loan. And what happens if he doesn't pay it, right? Then it's going to be on OP. And, that's really what it boils down to. And another consideration is there's a reason why the bank didn't loan him out this money, right? So the bank has decided that he's not, credit worthy in this particular case. And there's a reason for that, right? So I would be very cautious if I were OP, because I would actually be concerned if he's not sharing some kind of financial information, because getting declined for an auto loan like this isn't great, right?
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Business Mastodon 97 says, no, 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 no. Never co-sign for anyone, ever, or take out a loan with a non-spouse. If a bank won't give him a loan, why would you? Let him be mad. He can't put his anger on your credit report and mess over your credit for the next 7 to 10 years. And HFit Circer says she should be the one who's mad at him for getting a car that he can't afford. And Rockin' Mad Riot says, unless they are married, it's very risky request for her anyways. And Deep Internal 2209 says, even if they are married, it's a risky business. Unreliable people don't change into reliable people just because they're married. And Ibil95 says, why is he buying a car that he clearly can't afford? And no, do not sign the loan for him. And Boundaries 4546 says, right. And if they break up, she would be responsible for the payments that he can't make. And Snoo Recipes 9891 says that's a big red flag. Never do this for anyone. He is just using you and will be saddled with the debt and responsibility. I mean, I don't know that he would be just using OP. I mean, after 7 years, it's not likely that they're just using OP.
Well, let's hope he's not, but you never know.
Well, I mean, that's fair. Like, you never know, but it seems less likely. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not letting my sister bring her boyfriend to my wedding after what he said about my fiance? I'm a 29-year-old female, and I'm getting married in a few months to my fiance, a 31-year-old male. We've been together for 4 years, and overall, wedding planning has been pretty smooth, except this issue with my sister, a 26-year-old female. My sister has been dating her boyfriend, a 27-year-old male, for about a year. From the start, he's been kind of brutally honest, which mostly translates to him just saying rude things and then laughing it off as a joke. I've tried to ignore it for her sake. Well, a few weeks ago, we had a small family dinner, and somehow the topic of prenups came up. My fiance and I aren't getting one, which we're both comfortable with. Her boyfriend made a comment along the lines of, bold move for a guy marrying into a family where the women usually run the show. Everyone kind of awkwardly laughed, and I just asked what he meant. He said, well, let's just hope you don't clean them out when you get bored. It got really quiet. My fiance brushed it off in the moment, but I could tell it bothered him. Later, he admitted that it made him feel like my family sees him as disposable. I was honestly embarrassed and hurt. I texted my sister afterwards, saying that the comment crossed the line and that I would appreciate it if he apologized. She said that he was just joking and that we're being too sensitive. Fast forward to now, we're finalizing the guest list. It's a relatively small wedding, around 80 people, and we're paying for most of it ourselves. I told my sister that because of the tension and the lack of an apology, I'm not comfortable having her boyfriend at the wedding. I said that she is absolutely invited and I want her there, but I don't want someone who openly disrespected my fiance at an event that's literally celebrating a relationship. She blew up and says that I'm putting her in an impossible position and that if he's not invited, that she won't come either. My parents think that I should just invite him to keep the peace, especially since weddings are about family unity. My fiance said that he'll support whatever decision that I make, but he admitted that he would rather not have the guy there. Now I'm second guessing myself. On one hand, it's our wedding, and I don't want to feel tense or resentful on that day. On the other hand, I know excluding him could damage my relationship with my sister in the long run. Am I the jerk for not inviting him unless he apologizes? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think you're the jerk, OP, but I think, it will damage your relationship with the sister in the long term. Now, to be fair, your sister is the one damaging the relationship by supporting her jerky boyfriend. But you have to think long term about which is more important to you. It may be that having a stress-free wedding is what matters to you, and that's totally fine. So if that's what matters, go for it. Don't invite your sister's boyfriend. He's a jerk. He doesn't deserve it. But just recognize that will probably be the end of the relationship with your sister.
Well, I think OP can say to their parents that they are keeping the peace because he has been especially rude to the partner, and OP can't trust him to not say something during the wedding, and that would make an unpeaceful wedding environment, right?
And that's very true.
This is him acting in a really rude way, and I know that he thinks that he's being brutally honest, but a lot of these people who say they're brutally honest are more just giving themselves a free license to say whatever they want unfiltered.
Yeah, brutal honesty is just an excuse to be rude and awful to people.
And you have to understand that if you're going to be antisocial, then you're not going to be invited to social events, right? And that's honestly what brutal honesty comes across as a lot of times, is just being antisocial. You don't get to be antisocial and, expect people to want to hang out with you or interact with you or be there for you. That's the very definition of antisocial, right? So if you're not going to help build people up and you're going to tear them down and you're going to be rude and mean to them, then they're not going to want to hang out with you anymore. And that's their prerogative to not want to hang out with a rude person who says rude things. And also, if OP does invite him, then he's going to get, the wrong message here, that he can say whatever he wants to say and continue to be rude and suffer no consequences whatsoever, right? He needs to know that there are consequences for things that you say, and that just because he can say them and not go to jail or any other of those kinds of things, right, doesn't mean that there aren't any kind of general consequences or long-term consequences. You can ruin your relationships, you can ruin your family dynamics, all those kinds of things. So this isn't on OP, this is on him. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And No Way Mary says, Mom, Dad, I just can't stand this idiot, and his presence would ruin my day. I'm just being brutally honest. And OP replies, I won't lie, that made me laugh a little. I don't think that I would word it quite that harshly, but the point about being brutally honest back is kind of ironic. I'm just trying to handle it in a way that doesn't blow up everything even more. And Rich Pirate 4745 says, say to your parents, whose peace are they worried about? It's your wedding day. What about your peace? How does giving into your sister's tantrum bring you peace? Ask why they're not concerned with your peace and happiness on your wedding day. Sorry, I hate that give into the peace kind of garbage. There's no peace in doing that. Not the jerk, and I hope you have a very peaceful wedding without that jerk running his mouth. And OP replies, you're honestly saying what I've been thinking but feeling guilty about. I hate the whole keep the peace mindset because it usually just means one person is expected to swallow their feelings. I don't want drama, but I also don't want to feel tense at my own wedding, wondering what he might say next. I really appreciate you reframing it like that. It helps. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the man wear a helmet when he worked on his computer?
Probably because he was worried about a hard drive crash.
Yeah, he thought it would crash.
Oh, well, that works too. And I have Mega Mint. And folks, this is a very special day. It is a USB flash drive day. And this isn't similar to the other USB flash drive day. This one is an external drive day. So it's different because this one plugs into USB and the other one was just a drive that you plug into an SD card slot. So they're different days. Don't confuse the two. It's a very important thing for you not to do. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks. And you know what it means? Today's the live stream. So we hope to see you then. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on boundaries.
You don't have to loan out things that you don't feel comfortable losing.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.